I'm Sarah, and this is Cryptic Paranormal. I've written some stories that I want to share with you. These are from true experiences of my own. This one happened when I was 12 in 1996. Here's a story. I remember it being an unusually cold night. Must have been in the dead of winter. I laid in my bed, sheets pulled right up to my ears. I peered at the clock, 4:27 a.m. The table side lamp was on, but barely bright enough to light up the room. Just beyond the gap of the doorway sat a thick blackness. The dark tried to creep in through my windows as the moon was nowhere to be seen. I watched the clock for a moment, then out of pure boredom I rolled over to face the wall and tried to sleep. I scanned the pale pink wallpaper with a hideous flower print that my mother picked out. Knowing I hated floral, she bought it with the excuse, "There's black in it, it's cool." My eyes followed the vine print, counting the flowers at each pattern turn. 1, 2, 3, 254, 255. I turned over to look at the clock again. Only 4:32 a.m. Then I froze, more out of surprise than fear, as I noticed a figure beyond my clock. My door was open maybe a foot and a half, and peering into the darkness that sat heavily outside my door, a face entered my room. The pale gray, thin, and wrinkled face of an old man. His skin looked paper-thin and deathly white, with a sickening gray tint to it. His beady eyes, unsure the color, watched me. There was no sense or vision to this. This was no transparent spirit that I was seeing. He was completely solid. Frozen in my bed, unsure what to do, or able to move, I laid there, not breathing, waiting to see what would happen, and yet intrigued by this new visitor. The old man watched me for several moments, though it seemed an eternity. A chill ran up my spine as movement came from the darkness around him. Slowly a thin, pale arm came into my view. He held it perfectly straight with his finger pointed to me. He paused for a moment, his eyes never leaving mine. Then he continued, his reach upward to the light switch that sat silently on the flowered wall just inches from the doorway. He switched it off. The blackness quickly swallowed the light till there was nothing left. As if I had fallen into a deep abyss, I waited, hoping my eyes would adjust to the dark, but there was no light for them to take in. The darkness was too thick. I couldn't even see the tip of my own nose. I felt suffocating. I slowly pulled the covers over my head, thinking somehow the intruder couldn't get me. I exhaled, then rolled over, and went to sleep. This is a true story. Let me know your thoughts, and if you've ever had any